Okay, this video is about Respondus Lockdown Browser and Respondus Monitor. You may or may not see these things in your Blackboard courses, but I wanted to cover it just in case your professor does require it. You'll already have the information on what it is and how to use it. So we're in week 2 in the lesson, and you can see there's a lot of information over here about Respondus. So I'm just going to click on the first one. Respondus Lockdown Browser is a way for us to ensure you are not cheating on your exams when you take them online. There's a really good video right here that you can watch about what Respondus Lockdown Browser is, and I want you to watch that because it's very informative. It's two minutes long, so you can do this. But in a nutshell, what it is it locks down your computer and you take the exam in this web browser called Respondus, which I will show you in just a minute, and it prevents you from going to any other websites to cheat in any way. That's the lockdown browser part. The monitor is a little bit different. It's a lot more like ProctorU. So it uses lockdown browser, but it also requires you to use your webcam to record yourself taking that exam, and then your professor can review that later to make sure that you haven't cheated in any way. If your professor does require Respondus Monitor, they will give you instructions, your professor will, on what they expect when you turn that webcam on. So they might ask you to use the camera to show around the room and show your desk to make sure that you don't have any books or a cell phone or anything like that out. They may require you to show a form of a picture ID to the camera so that they can see that and make sure that it is you taking the exam. But whatever they require while you use Respondus Monitor, the professor will let you know the requirements before you take that exam. So just know that they might request things like that. And you can see examples of that in this video on the lockdown browser part. So these are all just two different things that we can use at ASU to ensure that you are being honest in your work. So if you ever see Respondus in any way, you can come back to this and you'll understand what it is and how to use it. There's another page right here with a video that's great that shows you what it looks like taking an exam using the lockdown browser. So the first step that you would want to do is go here. This link right here, when you click on it, will take you to A-State's Information Technology Services webpage. And this is where the software downloads are for students and faculty. So if you are operating on a PC with Windows, you want to click this link, Respondus Lockdown Browser. If you have a Mac, here's your link, Respondus Lockdown Browser. Don't do Test Creator because you're not an instructor. You use the lockdown browser instead. So you would click this link. That would take you to where you can download Respondus. There's another little how-to video right here that shows you what it is and why you're using it. But you would click the install button and go through the process of installing Respondus on your computer. And then you can watch this video to see what it looks like actually taking the exam. But I'm also going to show you what it looks like right here. Here's my icon for lockdown browser. So when I go in to take my exam, I open this instead of my current web browser. It's asking me if I want to allow this program to make changes to this computer. I click yes. Because if you have anything open like your email or Skype or a messaging service or anything like that, Respondus is going to automatically close that. So when you click yes, you're giving Respondus the permission to close those things because we don't want you to be able to communicate with anyone while you're taking your exam. So it takes you to our login page for Blackboard Learn. So this is where you would log in like normal. You would find your course, find the exam, and you would take it as normal. You're just taking it in this browser instead of your normal web browser. And again, this locks it down. I can't get out anymore, or I can't get out at all. I can't Google anything. It locks it down so it can ensure that I'm not using my computer to cheat in any way. Do you want to exit? I'm going to click yes because I'm not taking an exam right now. But again, if you watch this video, it will show you what happens after you log into Blackboard and you find your exam. But pretty much in a nutshell, that's it. I mean, it locks your computer down where you can't do anything. But remember too, if your professor requires Respondus Monitor, that's going to require you to use your webcam to record you taking that exam so that they can see you taking the exam and make sure that you're not cheating in any way. So if they ask for Respondus, they're not going to ask that you use ProctorU as well. That's a separate service. Every test you take will use one of the other. We're either going to use Respondus to take all of your exams or ProctorU to take all of your exams. You won't be required to use both at the same time because it doesn't work that way. So just know the reason why we're doing this is because HLC, which is the body that accredits all of our degrees, they require that we have some kind of monitoring on our students that are taking online exams to make sure that you're not cheating in any way. So this is a way for them to still accredit our degrees. If we don't do this, they can't accredit us and your degree would be worthless. So this is just a way to make sure that you aren't cheating and to satisfy all of our accreditation requirements. And it's not going anywhere. I know some people get put out that they're being watched taking an exam. Just try to ignore it. Go about your business, take the exam. Don't worry about what the monitor's doing or anything like that. And ProctorU and Respondus Monitor, it's just recording you. No one's watching you until later when the professor gets in and watches you take the exam. So just try to ignore it and pretend like it's not there. And just remember, it's all in an effort to make sure you're not cheating and that our degrees are still accredited and worth something when you get out there in the workforce.